Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel and a new video. This is by popular demand. Now normally we wouldn't do another Fiesta video so soon after doing the last one, but all of you are so interested in this and want to see us get that wiring loom in there and get it back together. So in the last video we cracked on under the bonnet here, got in the engine bay wiring loom, subframe, new suspension, wheels. If you missed that one, feel free to go back and watch it. The plan today, we have got to remove the whole interior in this car in order to get that wiring loom that's in that bucket there, in that box, fitted in there. You removed that yourself, Chris, not a whole lot of work. I'm going to point this camera in your face because everyone's seen you on the toilet. This ain't going to matter now. Yeah, that weren't too bad to do, was it? So it was quite straightforward, but it did help the fact that the other car didn't have the interior in it. So this is how far we got last time. We're going to crack on this morning, get these seats removed, get the rear door panels removed, and actually start attacking removing this wiring loom out of here. So you see, we actually cut it last time because it was all melted behind the dash there. Anyway, we have not got time to waffle in this video. There is a lot to be done, so we're going to crack straight on with it. Like I said, guys, moving along very swiftly there. You would have seen we just cracked on, both of us, and got it all removed. So we are pretty much down to, you're on the old trim clip remover, Chris, and the little earth straps, just removing that wiring loom.
Still got crash sensor on that seat belt yet. They have to come out.
Right, I didn't even realise.
To get to them.
Yeah, I see them now.
Airbag curtain.
Oh yeah, that little one there.
This one's
already done.
Yeah, I've done those this morning from underneath.
They are ABS sensors.
Yeah, on the rear. But while it was still on the ramp, I chucked it in there and popped them through.
That's going to be quite tight, isn't it? Fuel pump.
Yeah, it is.
Because we had to drop the tank down.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that is very tight in there, but we'll work around it and we'll get through it, won't we? So, yeah, pretty straightforward once you get it out.
That one on there.
What's that for the aerial?
Yeah, and it's threaded through there.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
And it doesn't disconnect. It's part of the loom.
Well, ours is burnt, isn't it? Yeah.
Oh, of course it
did.
Yeah. So yeah, this is the old one, guys. We haven't laid the new one in there yet. It's just Chris has put that out of the way so we can get all that out.
Tailgate's quite easy. That plug there by the seat belt.
Oh, it's just got one plug on it there.
Yeah.
So that tailgate loom can actually stay in, can't it?
I left it in on the other.
And that is going to be probably the only piece of wiring original to this car.
Yeah.
That tailgate. There's not going to be anything else, is there?
No.
So, yeah, fingers crossed. Even all these little boxes, that's probably parking, something to do with the parking sensors. Chris actually unbolted everything out of that other car. He said, Rob, let's just do it once. You know, we're changing every single sensor, every little bit that we come across, we are going to change. It just
probably not changing that.
The crash, no, because that hasn't gone off.
That hasn't deployed, the other one has.
But we have checked the part numbers and they're exactly the same.
Yeah.
So, all good. Let's crack straight on and start getting all this wiring loom out. And then we can start laying a new one in. But all looks quite straightforward. Just little earths everywhere. You can see there's two this side. And straight away I can see there's two that side. And there's possibly even more at the back. We made light work of that. I think it's pretty much ready to come out. We're going to actually try and remove it all. Ready, mate?
Yeah,
What are you going to do? Roll it backwards?
it's all throwaway, isn't it?
Yeah.
So don't hack this one. Just
We'll lay it
you
out.
grab that screwdriver out there, we'll just chuck it in there.
We'll lay it out next to the other one though, won't we?
Well, yeah, just to make sure there's no major differences, I suppose.
speaker wire. Why's that coming outside?
Oh, dear, man. Oh, retro. There's your other screw,
Right, that is, thank you.
and there's one out of that box. That's it, mate.
So quite straightforward, really. That's that wiring loom, all out. And in the back.
Probably yank it out.
Yeah, you might as well, mate. Let's take this phone out the holder.
We are going to lay it out, aren't we?
Yeah, what we'll
Just
do is,
check.
we'll do that off camera. We'll lay that out now, and then we'll cut in with the other one next to it.
Yeah,
So there we go. There is our original that we've just took out. That is the burnt loom. You can see that big chunk's missing. And what we've done is laid that one out exactly how it's got to go back on the car. And Chris, you only found one difference, which is, you can probably just about see that's non-genuine. And that is rear parking sensors retrofit.
That's it.
So what we're going to actually do is, we're going to remove that out of the loom, aren't we? It is, you can see where it's been spliced in now.
All they've done is took a power there, haven't they, by the look of it?
Yeah.
And then that bit, that's genuine.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
So, yeah, straightforward.
So that is it. And the way we've laid that loom out, I will explain just briefly. You can see all these little plastic clips, like, you can straight away notice that one there is your crash sensor and your seat belt. And then you've got your front passenger seat, your fuse box that goes up underneath. And this is the most important bit. This is what clips to the bulkhead. And this is the bit that was all burnt and melted on our car. So actually, very, very straightforward, isn't it?
Dash loom
Plugs into that, yeah.
So, all good, I think.
Let's get it back in there, mate. Oh, we are going to give that car a little hoover out first, aren't we? Yeah, because there's a bit of muck in there, and then we can get on and get this fitted. Very straightforward, that, but I do have a feeling that that was the easy bit, because we're going to be moving on to that dash back in shortly. But all very, very self-explanatory, Chris, right?
Yeah.
All of the poppers fitted in where they should go, and you can see everything's just kind of flowed back in. And having that actual plastic piece in the middle of that loom really did help. But you can see everything's all clipped in, all back in. Chris did go ahead and fit that bonnet catch before we moved on any further, because that'd be difficult. But if you can see, there is a little hole just above the bonnet pull cable, which is there. Yeah. And what was going through there was which was the recall on this car. But this car hasn't had that recall.
It hasn't.
But the white one has.
Yeah.
And the recall little black piece that's on it is actually broken.
Yeah.
So I'm not really sure.
When they retrofit that, they must feed the wiring through and then clip the plug on, because the plug wouldn't fit through the hole.
I had to pull all the pins out.
Did you? I don't know, or did we snip it? I can't remember.
I
know you put it back together.
I pulled the pins out and then put the plug back together. Yeah. So we're going to need to... Do you know what, guys? I will show you that part, actually, because it's right here next to us. One sec. So I believe that this is part of it. And as you can see, that's actually got a little piece broken off. And someone it plugs into there and then comes through that second hole. But somebody did say that that white car actually had the other header tank on it as well. So it's definitely been done. Not sure what route we're going to go down, but we're ready to crack on and tidy the workshop up.
Yeah, I think so, aren't we? Offer it up.
Offer it up in there and see how we get on. Let's do it. Really has gone in our favour putting this little car back together. It's all gone so smoothly. We really have no complaints with it at all, Chris, have we? Everything's back in there. It's all bolted in place. That frame is now ready to receive a dashboard. it's all bolted down. I mean, we got a few more nuts to do up for that. No, you've done them, haven't you?
No.
So
These were bolted in.
Till this was all bolted up, we wanted to get it back on its original marks. Of course, it's come out of another car, but they should all go in the same place. Couple of very, very minor bits. The alarm box up there, I'd put a bracket on, but the alarm box had to go on first, which cost us about a minute, so that was fine as well. But overall, we are pretty much there with it. This is the stage we'd normally get to when doing a airbag replacement, airbag kit. So Chris is going to continue on doing a few little bits here. I'm now going to go on the hunt I should have been on last week and try and locate us a dashboard, because ultimately that's we want that in here, don't we? We want that next. I'll just show under the bonnet quickly. So the wiper motor's now in, all plumbed up, because I needed to do up that bolt there behind it. I didn't bother putting the wiper motor in. This cover's back on the back of the airbox, and of course all these pieces are now through the bulkhead. So that's your water pipes for your heater matrix, air conditioning pipes. It's all there and pretty much ready to go. So you crack on with that, Chris, and I'll go on a hunt.
All right, mate.
Guys, I think we got lucky. 2014 facelift. It's got to be a facelift, because black dash. All of the others had like a bluey coloured dash in them. The only thing that is different is it hasn't got the hole, but you can feel on the back there's a template in there to cut. I think this is going to be fine. It's got the sensor up there. We only need that dash cover. It is quite mucky, but I think it'll clean up all right. It's going to be perfect, isn't it? I'll whip that out and we get back to the yard. Pop round and got that dashboard. While I was round there, you'll see Chris fitted the roof lining. He's fitted both of those rear panels back in. Seat belts are all in. This car is ready to receive that dashboard. Now, we know that it didn't have a push button start. Chris pulled in the old one. Spin that round. And you can see the hole there. Now that new dash was actually templated inside, Chris, wasn't it?
Yep.
But you can see these ridges. It's not an exact circle, so there's little ridges in there, and that is so that the button locates and obviously is facing the right way. So you couldn't get in there with a normal drill, Chris, could you? And what would you call this?
That's a Dremel with a flexi in.
Like with a flexi head, and you managed to get in there with that.
So the impression in the back there.
Yeah.
You've got to go through that reinforcement.
And that little hole.
Yeah, so I drilled a hole from that way, centre,
Yeah.
so I knew the position was right.
Yeah.
That drilled it a little pilot hole, then with a hole cutter, cut a hole. I think
Yeah.
the hole cutter's there somewhere. But I had to undersize it because of those little lugs.
Right.
So then I've done it with the rotary burr on that drill.
Shaped it up.
Yeah, and then there's a half round foil somewhere used there.
And that is clicked in there exactly where it should be.
Yeah. So you've got an element of tolerance because it's got that shroud. So it hasn't got to be perfect.
It's done the job. It is perfect. So what we're going to do is, because this is going to be easy to do now, we're actually going to give this a little bit of a clean. You can see it's been sat down the yard for quite some time. So we will give that a little bit of a clean. and then attempt to put this in. Some of you are probably thinking, why is there masking tape on there with all lines on it? Chris, do you want to explain why you did that? So that we're not
hold of that, you'll snap it off.
So that we're not tempted to use that as a handle, because a lot of people would grab that to pick the dash up, and it's very fragile. What one did we take it out of a car and I grabbed it and the whole thing was in my hand? It was the blue Fiesta.
Was it the blue Fiesta?
When I was taking the dash out, yes. I actually grabbed it there and ripped it off. So we get that cleaned up and we'll start the process of fitting it in. So guys, Chris was fitting the rear wiper. We started lifting the dash in. A lot of these wires are very, very hard to get in without the windscreen out. I mean, we are quite fortunate that Liam actually left us these last time he come with some new wire. I haven't done it for quite a long time. Probably I'm a little bit out of breath. It was a bit of a nightmare to get out. You can see this little bit here, it kept snapping, so we just leaned it forward, cut it out with a blade. But now that is out, that's going to make our life a lot easier, isn't it? So you can see we've just got the dash just laying in there. It's not bolted in. We're not going to time lapse it. We're going to get all of these clipped on. This little one here's got to go through the hole, and then we'll have a cut in once we get back inside it and it's halfway back together. Moving along very swiftly there. We did get carried away, but sometimes, guys, it is easier for us to just crack on and get as much done as we can. Locating all the wires. A lot of you will know that have seen us do it before, or you guys that have done it. A lot of the wiring actually lays the way that it does need to go. So you can see we haven't plugged the clocks in yet, but you can see the way the wires line there. So that side goes in, this side goes in, and these little clips just click on the back of the clocks. But for the most part, that is the spaghetti junction part of it there, and that's now all back together. All of the screws are in the dash. This is all screwed back in. You've got all the screws in here, all back in, all the bolts up here. Actually, look, I haven't done that one up. That must be where I've stopped. Got to do that up. Really just very, very straightforward now, putting all of the little bits and pieces back together. We're just going to continue on and get all of it back together. But yeah, what a difference. I really can't wait. Hopefully we're going to get the inside of this car nipped up. Let's crack straight on. What a long way we've come with this one, guys. It is now just, I'm going to give it a quick vacuum out, but all of the dashboard's back in there. Everything's where it needs to be. We are waiting on Liam. Fingers crossed he does arrive in this video and fits the new windscreen. We've had the interior light out because we had a bit of a scare there, thinking that the roof loom was different because there was a little bit of an aerial on the one that we had. And then Chris discovered that this car's actually got one, but it's actually glued to the roof lining inside, Chris, isn't it? So Chris is just putting the last screw in the centre console there. He's got his little kick plates put in the inside edge of the door there. And job's a good one, just to vacuum out and get them seats in. Very, very near the end of doing the inside of this car now. That was handy, guys. Liam turned up right in the nick of time there, and we got that new windscreen fitted. So that is actually a wrap. The interior is completely back in, new windscreen. And do you know what? It is quite a bit of work, but I will stand on to exactly what we said last time. What a sense of achievement you get from doing it, and very, very enjoyable to do. So the whole interior is now back in the car. Now I didn't time lapse too much because there was already quite a bit at the beginning, but there's all the seats back in, and it's so nice to see that all nice. We have put the jump pack on it as well, just to get the steering wheel. The steering lock's electric, so we put the jump pack on. Chris quickly pressed the button, got the steering lock off, and then we disconnected the jump pack. But yeah, look at that. Just completely different. I do need to get one of these interior lights for it because that was missing, but we're actually really chuffed with it, Chris, aren't we? It's been really nice doing it, hasn't it? And it's clean work and something completely different. So, anything to add, mate?
Oh, I don't think so.
It is literally wiper blades out here.
Yeah.
On the scuttle, yeah. Put them trims back in.
We'll leave them off because it's going to have a bit of paint in it. So
yeah, he's going to probably blow up them.
Yeah, so we'll leave them off.
That's going to be a bit of a nightmare in itself. According to the comment section, this is a 3-stage pearl. So it's not our problem, but you know, you've got to feel for the painter a little bit. It's going to be a lot of work, isn't it? He is good. I started putting even the aircon pipes in here earlier. You can see I'm located them. I went to put this one on and Chris said, please don't, Rob, I want to paint that bracket. And that's understandable. He's made it so nice under there. He wants to make that nice as well. So, in the next video, it's going to be engine in. Hopefully, Chris, isn't it? Yeah. The original wrap pack out of this car was actually okay.
Yeah, just the fiberglass panels broken.
The actual front panel itself.
Yeah.
So, I can run around, get us one of those. Front bumper is a maybe. So we need 2 headlights and a bonnet. So not a great deal of parts to find. The one thing I did want to mention. Where is that, Chris?
Still on the white car.
No, not that bit. I've mentioned that already. Chris has got it here. So the body control module, they're going off tomorrow.
Right.
Both of them, aren't they? What we're going to do is send off the BCM for the white car and the BCM for the red car. And we're going to have the BCM of the red car cloned onto the white car, so that we've got, basically when you plug it in and do a automatic search on, say, our top down machine, it will bring up the chassis number of the car, and because that BCM come out of that white car, it will bring up that white car chassis number. We want it to have the red number. Apart from that, we're all good. Thing, guys, just before we do end the video, I actually read all the comments. Chris reads quite a lot of them, and a lot of you reached out and actually said something in the last video that we didn't even give a second thought. When I was underneath the car, I said to Chris, this has got a full tank of petrol in it. And it wasn't until, I never gave it a second thought, till in the comment section, I see at least 20 people say, are you sure the fire brigade didn't fill it up with water? And Chris said, yeah, good point. So we did bypass the pump. Stuck a can on the main petrol pipe here. How much come out of it? There it is, yeah. About 4.5 gallon of pure petrol. So we got lucky there. There wasn't no water in the tank, guys, which wouldn't have been a big deal because we got the tank out, the white one. We could have swapped them round, but we don't need to, and we'll filter that and put it back in, but it is nice and clean anyway. So that is the end of today's video on the little Fiesta. We did another video on it so soon because we wanted to stay on it, stay active, get as much of it done as we can. And it looks like this is going to turn out to be a quick turnaround because it's got done a lot quicker than, say, the Volkswagen Polo, where we had to change a quarter panel, get the paintwork done. This really has been a joy to do, and it is turning around very, very quickly. So if you do enjoy it, please do hit that thumbs up. We really do appreciate it. And of course, it shows your appreciation. Follow us on Instagram for some little sneak peeks. And if you do reach out to offer us anything on there, please always include your contact number. Don't forget, please like, subscribe, share on all your social networking sites, and we'll see you very, very soon in the next one.